Hey yo, you need promo? Holla at me. I promote on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Tell me where you need that promo, and I got you. Send me a DM at STLAZNYC on Instagram, or send me an email at thegenpopllc@gmail.com. You heard? Let me promote your project. Hey yo, shout out to the bro SQUEAK. Shout out to the whole Fort Greene, the whole BK. You heard? If you from Brooklyn out there, get in them comments. Let me know what block, what Ave, what street, what projects you repping out there. You heard? If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you get a notification every time I drop a new episode. LAZ, Z-Man, Suicide Polo with the Ski Man running around the hood like He-Man. Let's get it. I put that old school vintage, nostalgic type of auras out there. You heard? That's what I be flooding the streets with. So y'all dudes that don't know nothing about them 80s and them 90s, you heard? I could learn y'all a little something, something, something. You heard? But yeah, man, this is the channel right here for the hottest street stories, hood stories, jail stories, prison stories you ever heard in your life. And that's a whole fact. Make sure you subscribe. Help your boy get to that chunky 80,000 subscribers. Yes.
I'm crying all that on the phone with my grandmas. I gotta get out of here, so son. You ain't gotta cry, you good, I got you. Rudy Lowe held me down. I'll never forget that. I can never front on my son. That was an Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday. You know, my grandma always put the suits on. Niggas had to put suits and shit on.
Yeah, I was sharp.
Yeah, that was 19. Yeah, that was sharp. I was sharp. So that was 1979, 1978. When it, picture I sent you, the same niggas that's in that flick, it's a few niggas that's in that picture too. Older, teenagers. So that's how long, you know what I'm saying, that I've been in the fort. I grew up in the fort. I was raised in the fort. I was born in the fort, born in Cumberland Hospital.
At that time in that picture, what school y'all was going to? Everybody was going to the same school too?
Yeah, I was going to PS 67. You heard? That's the public school in Fort Greene, PS 67. Some of them guys, they was older than me, so they probably was going to Sands, which is the junior high school, or one, you know what I'm saying, 113, shit like that. So, yeah, you see, I'm the littlest guy in the picture, son. I was the littlest one in the picture, son. All them dudes was older than me, you know what I'm saying?
I know you was younger, but what was dudes into? Dudes was playing sports or what?
Niggas was playing silly, niggas was playing Coco Livio, niggas was going to city pool, niggas was going to free lunch. You know, regular kid shit. Niggas wasn't thinking about the street shit as far as, you know what I'm saying, getting no money. That wasn't our thing. We didn't grow up like that. You know what I'm saying? That didn't come about until after guys turned into teenagers.
You say even at that age you was living with your grandmother already?
Yeah, I was living with my grandma. She's not my real grandmother. She's really my aunt. She's my mom's aunt. But she was an older lady, you know what I'm saying? And I always called her my grandma. Her name is Miss Chris. Anybody that's listening to this that know who she was, they know what it is. Squeaky is Miss Chris's son. That's her son.
Was your mom, like your mom's was missing in action that or something like that had you living with her at that time?
Yeah, she was. My mom's was always into drugs, hustling. My mom's was a vicious jostler, a vicious booster. So, you know, my mom's was in the streets, put it like that. She was in the streets, so you know how, hey, I need him to stay here, and then he ends up staying here for 1 day, 2 days, a week to forever. You know what I mean?
How was your grandma's, like, she was mad strict or she was mad loving or what?
Mad loving. I couldn't do no wrong in her eyes. None. Or even if I was wrong, if she knew I was wrong, Squeaky ain't do it. That's how it was. It was love, son. I needed that love, and that's the love she gave me. She knew I needed it, and that she gave it to me all the way till I was an adult.
And how you get that name, Squeaky?
My uncle Will Moms, she gave me that name. She said when I was a kid, when I used to cry something like a mouse, and I was squeaking, and that name Squeaky been my name ever since. That's my name. That's like my government name, son. You know what I'm saying? That's a family name. That's not no street name or none of that. That's a family name. Anybody that know me by that knew me since I was a kid.
In Fort Greene, how they gave out the free lunch? Because in my projects, you had to go to a specific building and go down the ramp in the building, and then shit'd be set up down there. Like how they was giving out free lunch in Fort Greene.
Same way, we had the cellar. We used to call it the cellar. We used to go down there and get free lunch, get their shit, and then after that, we go to the schools. We go to 67. From 67, we go to Sands. Sometimes we go to PS20, and then right after that, everybody go home, throw their trunks on, and we hit City Pool, right across the street from Farragut.
I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. Them free lunches used to be blazing, my nigga.
Tell you what was blazing was the peanut butter and jelly crunch. You heard? Those was fire. Those and the motherfucking goddamn French bread pizzas. That's what I was going for, cuz.
Nah, but it was something about them trays with the plastic over it. When you pull that back, the smell of those free lunch trays, that shit is stuck in my head forever, my nigga. Then
I wish I could get them now.
Word to mother.
Get me a free lunch joint now, dude.
They was giving niggas good peaches and good plums. I'm talking about official shit with the juice, with the little foil shit on top of it, with ice in it. Like, them free lunches held shit down.
And it was mainly giving you orange juice in them joints.
Word.
Motherfucking apple juice.
Word.
Orange juice, apple juice, and a carton of milk. Either was white milk or chocolate.
Yeah, the Black Panthers fought for that shit, man. The Black Panthers fought to get free lunch in the communities and stuff like that. But we used to be murdering them. And if your peoples was somebody in the projects, they had to connect to take 6-7 of them trays back home to the crib. You heard?
Fact.
So my fridge was filled up with them shits. We was living it. Who was your niggas in elementary school?
In elementary school? In the fort? Okay. Elementary school. CLR. Shaheen. Islam. Shit. Diggy Dog. Who else went there with me? Really? Shush. Dog Coleon, which is dog with the patch on his eye. Who else was in there with me, man? Devon Rambo. Melly. Who else was in there? Man, there was so many. Poutine, God bless his soul. It's a lot, cuz. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot, bro. And these guys, it's a lot of guys that I'm naming now still living. So when they hit it, they're gonna be like, oh shit.
Niggas was scrapping out in there? Because I know niggas was scrapping out heavy in 298.
You had to fight. That was the thing. Niggas wasn't shooting niggas back then, man. You had to fight. I had plenty of fights when I was young. Me and CLR had plenty of fights when we was little. But my moms and his moms was like sisters. That's how I got to be with them, so tight with them. Those was like my family already. But we still fought. And C was like he was growing up real small. So was I. You understand what I'm talking? He had mad brothers, mad cousins. His family was big. You understand what I'm talking about? And that was my rival. And to this day, that's my brother. I go see him when I go up there. I go to his crib. I chill. Oh, that's my guy right there. You understand what I'm talking about? That's my man. That's my family. Heard? CLR Combs. That's his name, Jack. You heard?
That's son government name?
Yeah, that's his government name.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That his name was a big name. He had a name like a grown man. That's his real name. You know what I'm saying?
That's big business.
So, that's big business. You know what I'm saying? My son's still around doing great for himself. You heard? So
Fly Ty was older than you or younger than you?
Now we the same age. I was a couple months older than Ty.
He was in that school with you in your class and all of that?
Nope. Ty went to PS20, if I'm not mistaken. That's where he went. I went to 67. You heard?
PS20 is in Fort Greene too?
Yeah, right up the block, right on Myrtle and I think Myrtle and the Delphi, right over there.
Some Fort Greene niggas went there too, like it was half and half?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yep. And that's where Ty went, you know what I'm saying? And back then, at that age, I was living with cuz. At Wellard crib, right on Myrtle and Car, right over the store, son. A lot of people don't know that store. A lot of people don't even know Papi Lingo, which is my grandpa that had the store, which is his grandpa that had the store. You understand what I'm talking about? That's how far I could go back. You understand what I'm talking about? Me and cuz took showers in the same bed together as kids.
Who started roaming into the streets first, you or son?
We started at the same time. We was outside at the same time. We was kids, son. 11, 12 years old, outside. me, Ty, Little Rob, Dawn younger than us. Dawn was with us. Dawn was outside. And we was 11, 12 years old. Dawn was being there probably 7, 8 years old back then. But we was outside, cuz. We was out there, bro. You understand what I'm talking about? We was men before we supposed to be men. You understand what I'm talking about? And I ain't talking about robbing and killing and doing. I'm talking about just being outside, running the streets at a certain age. You know what I'm saying? We used to get chased by Aunt Ruthie, Aunt Nikki. We used to get chased. Yo, y'all, we ain't supposed to be over this place and that place and all of that. But at the end of the day, we was outside, man, and we had a good life, cuz. Real talk. We didn't have a bad life. Niggas had rough drafts in their life, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't all bad. There was some beautiful things in our life, cuz. You understand what I'm talking about? And if a person really knew Ty, Floyd Quinones, if a person really knew him, they would have known that he had a good heart. He was a good dude. But one thing about him, if you crossed him, it was crossed for you. You understand what I'm talking about? That's just it. But overall, Cuz was a good dude, fly dude. That's why he got that name, Fly Ty. Good guy, good dressing.
Why was Son in the streets? Why was Son? Where was his parents at?
And home. Everybody, we just, our family. Like, I don't want to put people out there, son, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But our uncles and stuff was out there, you know what I'm saying? Them dudes was, those was the main attraction, son. You understand what I'm saying? And not saying that they had us around none of that, you understand? But that's the era that we grew up in, son.
Son was half black, half Puerto Rican?
Yes. Yes, his pops is black, mom's Puerto Rican. His mom's and my pops is brothers and sisters, cuz. You know what I'm saying? So he had a beautiful life, man. Like, he had a good life, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Before the crimes, before the going to jail, before hitting the block, before that. You know what I'm saying? Even when we was that, we was good. You know what I'm saying? He had a good life, cuz, and you know, I do be wishing my cousin's still here because a lot of shit changed without that man being here. It's like Son kept certain things in line and certain things that would have never happened, you know what I'm saying, against each other or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Niggas beefing amongst each other, that wouldn't have never happened if Son was here. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Son, what side is Son from? What side of the 40 from?
Myrtle and Carlton. Far side. That's where we from, dude. I grew up on the island, though. See, I grew up on the island. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of Fort Greene. That's a small part of Fort Greene. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on the island. Ty and them grew up on the other side. So I migrated to the other side because that's where my family was at. When we was growing up, we stuck together, son. There was nobody that could come in between that. Nobody. I don't care who it was. No friends, none of that. You could not come between the family when we was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Things change now, but it wasn't like that before, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna speak on nothing, but it wasn't like that before. You know what I'm saying? Those who's listening, those who know what I'm talking about, they know I ain't fraud. A family thing. Like, we stuck together every day. We slept in the same crib. We slept in the same beds. Niggas wore each other's sneakers, shirts, jackets. Like, it was just a family thing, bro. Like, just family. You understand what I'm talking about? Even our friends too, like other friends too, but it was all a family. It was nothing that could break that barrier, son. You understand what I'm talking about? And that's where everything went wrong at nowadays. Outsiders broke the barrier. Now people is picking and choosing different sides to fuck with. You understand what I'm talking about? But me, I'm staying the same way I always been. I'm always gonna be the same way, bro. You know what I'm talking about?
How old was you when you finally met Saquon?
I say about 16, about 16, 15 years old, me and Say. Yeah. I was on my way to Fort Greene on a 3 train coming from the Ville, and I knew Shy already. I knew his face, I knew his movements. So when I seen him, I'm like, oh shit, yo, what's up, cuz? He like, oh shit, what's up, where you going? He asked me where I was going, so I'm going to the fort. Now, mind you, we didn't know that we knew each other and peoples in the fort, so he like, word? He like, who you going down in the sea? So I started naming my man Shaheem, my man Mello and all them. So he said, oh, you know the pigs? Wherever he was going, he did it that. He went with me to the fort. And me and Shy been together ever since. And this was in like 89, 90, cuz, you heard? So that's how me and cuz started, gathering and getting together. You know what I'm saying? And we've been brothers ever since. His family is my family. They call me their nephew. His mom's in them. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother right there. No, I don't care what we go through, none of that. You heard?
When would you say y'all it was like either one of y'all niggas first time getting into some trouble with the law? Like who went to jail first? Who got caught up in the system first?
Me. I got caught up in the system before all of them. Me, person. I'm talking about as far as me and tying us, me. I went to the can first.
What happened?
I had my co-defendant. My co-defendant was Wiz, Lil Wiz, Curtis Franklin, my guy, my brother. That was my co-defendant. You remember Wiz? He was in Greene with us last. He took me away from what Tyner was doing in the streets to rivalries. He introduced me to digging pockets. He introduced me into that. You know what I'm saying? That's the first time I went to the can, and that was Spofford.
And where you got caught at? Downtown Brooklyn?
Downtown Brooklyn, yeah, downtown Brooklyn. My son dug a Jew nigga, and nigga arm got caught in the nigga pocket while the dude was getting on the bus. The bus driver closed the door and all that. My man Wiz whole arm was in the bus and all that. Wiz grabbed ripped the nigga whole pants off, pocket, leg, and everything. You know what I'm saying? And we got pinched.
The bus was dragging him. The bus was dragging him with his arm in it.
Damn near dragging him, but while he was moving, son still had his hand on that pocket. He ripped the nigga pants leg off, everything, pocket and all that, bread, everything. Wiz is the one that put me on there. I started going to jail.
Police ran up on the scene, or niggas got away and then the police came?
We got away, yeah, then the police came, yeah. We was downtown Brooklyn by the clock.
Oh, y'all
wasn't even in the police.
Y'all went back
downtown.
Y'all went back by the clock and stayed to snatch more pockets after that?
Yeah, and got pinched. Got knocked right on the scene, cuz. Like a couple blocks up.
And that was your first time going to Spofford?
Yep. That was around 88. Me and son, that's when I first went to Spofford. That around that time, I was still a youth. You heard?
Which was like 14?
Like 14, yeah. 13, 14 years old, son.
And who was in Spofford when you got there?
Some dude named Mac Moulton was there. Little Tyson. I think Tyson was from the Ville.
You talking about Tyson from Rockaway and Herkimer?
I think he's short. He had like the curly hair back in the days. I don't know exactly where son was from. I didn't know him. I met him. Me and son was about to get it on. That's how I met him. Me and son was about to get it on a bus. And it was a bus driver named Wolf that was driving the buses back, the Spofford bus back then. Big Wolf. You know what I'm saying? The niggas stopped that shit, but me and son was about to get it on, and my co-defendant Wiz was already there because he had caught another charge and he was stuck in there. You know what I'm saying? So when I went there, Wiz was there. Wiz was already a live wire in there already at that time. You know what I'm saying? So when Wiz seen that I was about to get it on with Duke, he put that in the smash. Nah, Duke, that's family. That's my cuz. That's my bro.
Why y'all was about
Son had an ice grill. Son had an ice grill. I had one. What happened? You heard? That's what it was. You know what I'm talking about? Son had an ice grill. I had an ice grill. I asked him what he looking at. He said, what happened? And he was about to shake. But niggas broke it up. You know what I'm saying? Because when you in Spofford, you go to, I think it was a little bullshit mess hall. You go get dressed, you get your clothes out that fucking nasty ass bag they had your shit hanging in, and then you get dressed or whatever and you go to court. You know what I'm saying? So that's what me and son was gonna get it on, but my co-defendant was there. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that shit is over with. That niggas, nah, that's my family. You bugging, dude. So son that, and that was it. But then I ran into Tyson on the island. You know what I'm saying? I ran into Duke on the island. I was already doing what I was doing back then. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that was my first time of going to the can.
You ran on the son on the island and y'all still ain't like each other?
Nah, he was cool then. He was all right then. I guess he knew, like, damn, this nigga wrecking over here. Yeah, I'm wrecking. He was in Spofford back then, but I'm doing what I got to do over here. I'm with the big dogs now. You heard? This is a different ball game over here in the Spoke building, brother. You heard? Word up, cuz. And I wasn't a crazy guy on the island. When I first went to the island, I was nervous. You know who held me down on the island? You know who damn near showed me how to jail?
Oh.
You gonna bug out off of this one. Rudy Lowe. We was in Mars 6 together. You heard? And Rudolph said, yo, man, I cried and all that on the phone with my grandmas. I gotta get out of here. He said, yo, son, you ain't gotta cry, you good, I got you. That nigga Rudy Lowe held me down. I'll never forget that. I can never front on my son. Son showed me how to get bills. Son, let me get on that phone and all that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know nothing about jail and Duke. I stood on the island 6 months. Once I got out of Smart 6, I went to Mart 8. Me, Ron Duke, Kuda, CB, Joe from the Bronx, all of them guys was there. These guys was older than me. I was a little dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes, they helped me. Them dudes helped me. If it wasn't for them dudes helping me back then, I wouldn't know what I know now. And I'm going to pay homage to that. You know what I'm talking about?
What year was that? You said your first time on the island, 90?
1990. And I had a fresh cut on my face. I got cut in the streets. I had butterfly stickers in my face when I went to the island, son. For the record, me and son did it that. Me and son taught me and son cool now. His name is Man. That's my guy. He's cool. Me and son did it that. We was young. That shit happened. That's what it is.
Shout out to Man, M.O.P.
That's a fact.
I mean,
ain't no, me and son ain't got no drama. That shit is over with. Nobody can gas that up. Nobody can game me. Nobody can game it. That shit is dead. You understand what I'm talking about? And that's big boy shit. You know, I'm the type of nigga, I hold a grudge. I ain't holding no grudge. Shit's over with. Son came to me, hollered at me, yo, son, I was young, boom, boom, boom. You dead it. It's over with. You'll never hear. If I talk about that, I'm not going to talk about it in a negative way. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, and if we talking about the story of that shit, we documenting Brooklyn history. We not trying to open up old wounds. We not trying to start shit up. None of that shit. We just talking about, listen, in these streets, my nigga, I know niggas that unshot each other. You understand what I'm saying? That dead at they beef. Niggas happy to be alive out this motherfucker. Niggas happy to be alive for their kids out this motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? So it don't matter if a nigga did something to each other and shit happened in the past. That shit is the past. Niggas is living for the future. You feel me? But we documenting this Brooklyn history. We documenting this Brooklyn history because it's history.